Hi, I'm Dr. Charlene, and I want to talk about what a Hashimoto's flare might feel like. Now, this can be a little difficult to define because it's going to be a broad spectrum of many different symptoms, and one symptom might affect one person more strongly than the other. So let's just kind of start with the basic symptoms. And so if you're living with Hashimoto's, you might be experiencing fatigue, and I'm talking fatigue on another level. I'm super fortunate that I have plenty of energy just about all day, every day. And it's rare that I experience fatigue. And then what my patients report to me as their Hashi fatigue is just on a whole other level of what I experience when I'm fatigued. But it could be things like even going up a flight of stairs could nearly wipe you out and require you to go take a nap. Um, the fatigue is going to be intense, and you might also be experiencing things like joint pain, your hair's falling out, you are losing the outer part of your eyebrow. That's a very classic sign that tends to be one of the first signs that shows up. You probably have sluggish digestion, like you're a little constipated, you're cold all the time, especially hands and feet get really, really cold, and you might have a lot of dryness, and there's just such a whole host of symptoms that come along with Hashimoto's. And to be honest, if you are dealing with a lot of those symptoms on a very regular basis, and you see your doctor, you take your thyroid meds, and they say your labs are normal, but you still have all of these symptoms, I personally would consider that a flare. Now, if you get to a point where your Hashimoto's is very well managed and your labs are under control, you're taking your medication well and it's incorporating well into your body, and you're getting a lot of that vitality back, where you're starting to feel energized again and you don't have a ton of aches and pains, and you are just improving all of the time and feel like yourself again, that is definitely not a flare. And then if you backslide a little bit into any of those symptoms that you used to have, or maybe new ones are creeping up, I would consider that a flare. And oftentimes I also see a lot of my patients flare when they go into a hyper swing. So Hashimoto's can go into the hyper side of things, where it's a hyperactive thyroid, and that can happen for a couple reasons. One, it could be over medication. It could be that your body has adapted, you're doing well, and maybe your labs have come back into range and your symptoms have decreased, and your doctor just didn't adjust your medication. And so now your thyroid's naturally producing well, and then you have medication on top. Or it happens where they bump up your medication, but they increased it too high, and so your body goes into this hyperactive swing. Or it could come from no change in lifestyle, no change in medication. However, you start to go into full-on tissue destruction, meaning that your immune system is flared up by something, most likely some kind of hidden pathogen. Either it's hidden, or it could be you just got a cold and now all of a sudden your immune system is on hyper alert, and so it starts attacking the thyroid, and you have all of this tissue that's getting attacked. The tissue is breaking down, and it's literally spilling thyroid hormone, excess thyroid hormone, into the body. This could cause a hyperactive swing as well. And so those situations is what I would also consider a Hashi flare, where everything is so flared up, your inflammation is through the roof. And in those cases, if you are having a hyperactive swing, that's going to lead to things like sweating, excessive sweating. You're going to start to feel a lot warmer than you typically feel. You'll feel very hot, maybe even hot flashy. You would probably have anxiety. You might be experiencing insomnia, and it can be severe. It can be to the point where you're not sleeping at all, or maybe just a few minutes here and there, but not hardly anything. You have crazy heart palpitations, your anxiety is just going through the roof, you have racing thoughts, all of these things. And that is definitely a Hashi flare. And so those are the symptoms that you would experience in that case. But in my opinion, anytime that the thyroid is dysregulated and you're experiencing symptoms from that dysregulation, from it not working optimally, that's what I personally consider a flare. I hope this was helpful in answering this question for what is a Hashi flare and how does it feel. And I am Dr. Charlene, and I am here to help you with your Hashimoto's issues. And as always, be well.